coming up on Fresno State Focus, we'll show you why the value of silver is on the rise.
Plus, we'll tell you what experts are saying about taxing out loans in 2025.
And we'll show you how Fresno State athletes maintain a Division I diet. Fresno State Focus starts now. Hello and welcome to Fresno State Focus. I'm Alexis Bruno.
And I'm Abraham Cruz. Welcome to our 5th newscast of the semester. Tariff Liberation Day is here, which might mean paying more for everyday necessities. In an already hurting economy with inflation and rising interest rates, President Trump today released more tariffs to hurt nations, who he says are bringing drugs and people illegally into the nation. The president placed tariffs of 25% on foreign automobiles and at least a 10% on all imported goods going into effect at midnight. He says it will hurt in the short term as prices will go up for everyday needs and big ticket items like cars and appliances. Senator Chuck Schumer says these tariffs will only hurt the average American.
It is estimated that the average American family will pay more than $5,000 out of their pocket to pay for these tariffs.
The threat of more expensive cars has some rushing to buy one. Ford estimates that industry-wide U.S. new car sales rose 5% in March.
Voting is now open for your next ASI student body president. This election is a lot different than past elections. There have been 2 campaign violations on the Next Step Slate campaign. This is what you see on the screen right now. The University Presidential Committee has been in deliberation since Monday, but there is no decision on what will be done about the campaign violation.
So the committee is meeting to discuss the outstanding violations from the Next Step campaign, which includes Carly Hall, Ava Tingy, and Seth Borba. Just how they're going to move forward with the election while the election is still in process.
Students can continue to vote online until tomorrow at noon with a link that was sent to the students' email.
Interest rates are on the rise, and for many college students, that can mean higher costs when taking out a loan. Whether it's for school, a car, or even a first credit card, understanding how interest works is key to making smart financial decisions. Loans can be a great tool to help cover big expenses, but if you're not careful, interest rates can turn that loan into a long-term financial burden. Diego Santos says it's important not to wait, as refinancing is an option to look at.
You shouldn't wait for it to go lower because you can always refinance at a lower rate, but you cannot refinance with that institution again. So it's always important to just keep an eye on, see what people are offering these days.
Make sure you stay on top of that loan payment. Don't let it get too behind or behind at all. I get it, sometimes things come up and you can't make a payment. Make sure you do let your financial institution know what's going on. That way they can try to work with you.
Interest rates fluctuate based on the economy, but they also depend on your credit score and loan type. If you're a student with little to no credit history, federal loans often offer lower rates than private lenders. Staying on top of your payments and having a plan prior can be the key to a smooth experience with your first loan.
Jump the gun because an interest rate looks low. It happens too often that financial institutions will put out specials, and I think that's when it's the best time.
It's important to borrow only what you need and have a plan for repayment. Missing payments can affect your credit score, which will make buying a house or a car later on more expensive. For Fresno State students looking to apply for a loan, many credit unions and banks offer student-friendly options, but always read the fine print before signing on the dotted line. I remember my first loan, and so far it's been a decent experience. Before taking out any loan, make sure you do your research and ask questions.
Across the nation, the demand for silver is up. This comes from an economic concern. Nathan Ortiz visits a local pawn shop to show us how the silver market is going.
Investing has been a priority for many Americans throughout the country. One form of investment that has seen exponential growth in recent times is silver. Jared, store manager at a local pawn shop, explains the reliability of investing in the metal.
It's a great way of having a savings account or a forced savings account, in a sense where If you only have $30 to save and you can't afford that whole Apple stock, you can just buy an ounce of silver. So then if you ever do need it, whether it's an investment or a savings account, you have that kind of rainy day money to use.
Versatility of silver has been one of the main characteristics that make it a good investment option. It provides buyers with accessible and affordable options as the price fluctuates. Different forms of silver provide investment pieces of all sorts of values, forms, and prices.
So I'm here today and I wanted to show you guys some of the different forms of silver and gold that you can invest in. So this right here is kind of heavy, but this is going to be your 100-ounce silver bar. This is going to be a 10-ounce. And this right over here is going to be a 5-ounce.
Due to silver's lower price in comparison to other precious metals such as gold, it has become a practical investment for all people. Kenya, a sales associate at the pawn shop, explains how the friendly prices have contributed to an increase in sales.
So silver is actually really good to buy just because it's cheaper. So you could get like 3 coins for like $100 rather than getting gold. Gold is super expensive right now.
By having investments such as silver is how many Americans are protecting their hard-earned savings.
Money away.
Reporting from Fresno, Nathan Ortiz, Fresno State Focus.
We have many pawn shops in Fresno. You can visit a shop near you to learn more about silver and other tangible incentives like gold.
From money advice to career advice, here's a look at Fresno State's annual Advising Day. Academic advisors came together today at the USU to prepare students for next semester's registration. Students had the chance to explore their options and see what kind of support is available to them. Advisors say getting ready early is the first step to academic success.
Contact students if they have questions. We are trying our best to give them the resources if we don't have them, or just to ensure that they have a smooth transition with their college experience.
To find out where your major's advising office is located, check out the University Advising Center's page on Fresno State's website. The Off-Campus Student Life program is known for supporting Fresno State students who commute to campus. At the commuter pit stop yesterday, program members offered both friendly conversation and information about resources available to students. They also told students about the Good Mornings Commuters event, which was this morning. If you missed it today, you can still get your free breakfast one more time this semester on May 7th at the RSU North entrance. Building connections and networking is key for college students before heading into their career. The opportunities are there. Doors are open for different jobs and internships. The MCJ department is set to host a free networking event tomorrow. Lizbeth is here with a guest to tell us more about it.
Thanks, Abraham. With me is Sanai James. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So what is TASTE?
So TASTE stands for Take a Student to Eat, and it is a networking event for MCJ students and professionals and mentors in their projected careers. It's taking place at the Resident Dining Hall tomorrow from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m.
And what can students and mentors expect?
So we've got a bunch of things planned for you guys. Students and mentors can expect some great food, first off. Second of all, we have a keynote speak presented by social media coach and AI expert Tori Terhune. She's kind of going to be talking about making AI your personal assistant in the workplace. We've got a student raffle as well with prizes such as gift cards, Fresno State football tickets, and even Kindles and speakers. And Victor E. will also be there in costume at our photo op from 11:30 a.m. to 12 p.m.
And why is an event like this super important for students?
Absolutely, I think it's incredibly important. It gives students the chance for an in-person opportunity to kind of gain some networking skills as well as grow their contact circle. It's also especially important for seniors and juniors who are entering the hiring process soon. A lot of students have gained not only job but internship opportunities from this event. It's also nice to kind of just support your fellow MCJ students. We've worked really hard on this event and we're very excited to see it come to life.
You can also connect with other students, people you might not have met before.
Absolutely, we have upwards of 90 students registered for tomorrow, so it is going to be a great time, a huge social hour, just to go out and meet people.
And you mentioned that Victor is going to be there. He's going to be in costume.
Yes, I think we have a chef costume for him, so I don't want anyone to miss that. Super exciting.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, and back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you.
Coming up, a Native American student shares some hardships they face and what Fresno State does to help honor their culture.
And we'll show you how students are creatively taking theater production to a new level.
And even though it's been cold the past few days, spring weather is coming back with a vengeance. Your focus on weather starts right after the break.
At Fresno State,
Being bold means committing to something greater than yourself. It's learning by doing and nurturing leaders to advance our shared future. It's using research to create a better life for those around us and healing those who need us most. These are our stories, because at Fresno State, bold begins here.
Success. At Fresno State, it's no secret. It's discovering new ways to change our world. It's creating opportunities as diverse as our community itself. It's in the distinction of our graduates as they lead us into the future. Success is no secret at Fresno State. It's our mission.
Hi everybody, my name is Nathan Ortiz, and I'm here with you with the weather today. Let's go ahead and take a look at our map. So over here on my left, you're gonna see that there is a lot of rain over here on the East Coast. It is pouring. On my right, like usual, the West Coast is a lot drier. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the West Coast. So obviously here, we can see some rain in the more interior of the country. We've actually been experiencing rain and a lot of cold days for over the past couple of days here in Fresno. So talking about Fresno, let's go ahead and take a closer look into that. Let's go ahead and see, as I move over here, we see Shaver Lake with a low of 37. So if you're up there, be ready to have your jackets on. We see Fresno with a high of 61, and the highest city throughout all our Central Valley is gonna be Mendota right now with a high of 64. On to the lows for tomorrow. Let's go ahead and check that out. Same thing, Shaver Lake, it's still cold out there. It's 29. Mariposa up there too with the cold weather. Everywhere though, it's kind of similar. So let's move on to our air quality. So for once in the long time, we have some great air for everybody to breathe in, breathe out. You're not gonna feel your lungs filling up with some weird stuff. So let's go ahead and appreciate that, be outside. As we could go on to see the weather for next week, as we can see, it is gonna be nice outside. It's gonna be starting off with a nice, cool Thursday tomorrow as the weather continues to heat up throughout the week. So make sure you guys are ready to do your things outside. And yeah, back to you, McKenna.
Thank you, Nathan. The Native American culture has often been overlooked throughout history. I give you an inside look at a powwow and a Native American student here at Fresno State who is working to break the stereotypes of Native American culture.
The biggest stereotypes that we face have mainly been negative. One of them is that we're uneducated, that we're alcoholics, and I've heard the term ghetto a few times.
Victoria has heard these things for many years about her culture, and even some things have been said to her face.
One thing I've heard recently about my culture is how we dance at powwows, and I quote, "Why are they dancing like they're on crack?"
In order to stop the ignorance towards her culture, she makes sure to bring people to her powwows, especially her friends.
As someone who has Native American friends, I really enjoy their culture, and as a Mexican, it's really cool to like step outside of my culture and see other cultures and see how they live. I really love going to their powwows.
Like many cultures, family is the root of Native American heritage. Victoria and her sister have been dancing together for years. She feels closer than ever to her sister Alicia because of the conversations they are able to have as adults about their heritage.
One thing that they do for Native American graduates is that they give them like a ceremonial blanket. They wrap it around us and we're able to walk with it.
Victoria has spent 2 years in the speech pathology program at Fresno State. She will be graduating in May with a bachelor's degree.
But it is a privilege and a blessing for me to say that I am an educated Native American student.
According to U.S. Consensus, 16% of Native Americans in the United States, 25 or older, have earned a bachelor's degree or higher. Victoria Dabney will be making her own history as a Native woman graduating with a bachelor's degree at age 21 this May. Abraham, back to you.
Thank you, McKenna. Cesar Chavez is an honored figure in the Central Valley. At Fresno State, students continue to honor him every year on Cesar Chavez Day. Last Thursday, Fresno State held a commemoration event for the labor leader, organized by Student Affairs. The event featured a garland ceremony, live entertainment, and a resource fair. Students, faculty, and community members came together to celebrate Chavez's lasting impact on farm workers' rights and social justice.
So today we celebrate Cesar Chavez. Cesar Chavez, born in Yuma, they lived in Yuma, had a ranch, but they lost the ranch to a government-made recession. When Chavez family lost their ranch, they had nothing, so they had to start all over again and come to work as farm workers.
One highlight from the event was a keynote address from Raul Z. Moreno. He spoke about Chavez's legacy and the ongoing fight for workers' rights.
Wellness Wednesday is back at Fresno State, and it is helping students stay healthy and energized. Every Wednesday from 11 to 1, students can stop by the water fountain near the University Center for some free goodies, snacks, and some incentives. Organizers say that it is also a great chance to pick up resources to support your overall health and wellness.
Well, I think it's awesome, like right now walking through and of course seeing the booths and they're yelling at students, like, trying to get their attention, but also even not during these days where they have all the booths set up, there's always flyers up for the health center. They're really advocating for all the students and advertising year round, so I think it's a great thing. So not only during these times this week specifically, but also throughout the whole school year.
But it's good to remember it is a first come, first serve, so get there early. Don't miss out on Wellness Wednesday. A little self-care can go a long ways. Many people are victims to sexual assault and domestic violence. It is truly can be a painful and solitary journey.
Joseph Joyce is live at the Resnick Student Union to tell us about an event being held to spread awareness for victims. Joseph?
Thank you, Abraham. I'm currently standing with Mindy Cates. She's a survivor advocate of the Student Health and Counseling Center here at Fresno State. Mindy, thank you so much for joining me. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So can you tell us a little bit about the event you guys are setting up for here?
So Take Back the Night is the oldest, biggest world movement to support people that are dealing with any type of sexual violence in all forms.
So how often is this event held?
At Fresno State, we hold it once a year, but it's held all over worldwide throughout the year.
Awesome. So I heard that you guys might be holding a march today. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we do a speak out so that we can march and protest against all forms of sexual violence, and that will be happening around 6:30 today.
Oh, so to talk a little bit about the medallion ceremony you guys are going to be having as well, what type of medallions will you be handing out?
They're survivor medallions, so it's for people that come to speak out and share their truths, that they can then be honored at the end and let them know that we support them, that we're here as a community to help them heal and to hear their voice.
What would you say is the most important part of Take Back the Night?
I think as a community, providing that support to survivors to let them know that they're not alone and they don't have to be quiet.
And finally, is there anything else you'd like to add about Take Back the Night or about survivor advocacy in general?
So a lot of people don't know at Fresno State, we have survivor advocacy services that's free and confidential and allows a safe place for people to get the support and help that they need.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mindy, for your time. That's all the time we have for today. Reporting at you live from the Resnick Student Union, I'm Joseph Joyce, Fresno State Focus.
Yes, Joseph, is anybody able to attend the march today?
Great question, Alexis. Yes, everyone is allowed to come, and the event goes from 5 to 9 p.m. today.
Awesome, thank you. That is great information. Theater and dance shines bright with their current performance of the classic tragedy Antigone. The play centers on civil disobedience following Antigone, who breaks the law and sets the city into spiraling fate. The play will first be directed by Michelle Bellevere at Fresno State, who says this art imitates life.
Art is really important because life is not fair and it's hard, and just like Antigone, we're all trying to fight for justice and to have our voices heard and to be believed and to survive the world.
Antigone runs through April 5th this Saturday. Tickets cost $10 and are available online or in the student box office at the theater.
Fresno State's experimental theater company is preparing to take the stage with their next performance, debuting this Friday. Spencer Baer takes us to the scene shop for an inside look at how they're preparing for center stage.
Fresno State Theater and Dance has been putting on shows since 1912. While the University Theater handles 5 major productions every school year, student groups like the Experimental Theater Company create shows of their own volition, headed by a student board and faculty advisor. Joel Alanes Ayala is the chair of the student board and explained that every aspect of the ETC is built around students and their passion to create.
ETC is an experimental theater company, and essentially it's a student-run company here at Fresno State. What that means is that everything in terms of directing, designing, and acting is all done by the students here at Fresno.
To prepare for their next performance, ETC has 2 working days in the month of March. Faculty advisor Gina Sandy Diaz explained some of what the students had in store for their first working day.
And so students are pulling things out of storage that have to do with props, with set, with costumes, and they're having hair and makeup trials with actors, and all of that kind of stuff is going on today.
Gina and Joel were here in the scene shop, which is just one of many workspaces the ETC uses. Behind me, where those red and black seats are, is the John Wright Theater, where I spoke to director Diego Sosa about the upcoming play these students are working so hard to help create.
Come in with an open mind. That's what I'm going to say about this show, is just come in with an open mind. I don't think it's going to be what audiences expect the type of show it's going to be, but that's what's really exciting about it, is it wasn't the show I expected it to be when I took on the script.
All right, lights.
The upcoming play, titled A Public Reading of an Unproduced Screenplay About the Death of Walt Disney, will be shown from April 4th to April 6th. The play will not be shown in the John Wright Theater. Instead, it will premiere in Room 101 in the Lab School. Aside from just this show, Alanes Ayala says the ETC is important for students, both inside and outside of the theater department.
It's a great way to show the representation of the students, because the shows are pitched and picked by students. So there are shows that are mostly that, I feel like students would either relate to or find some meaningful connection with them.
At the Scene Shop in the Speech Arts Building, Spencer Baer, Fresno State Focus.
If you're interested in attending the play, tickets are available at the Speech Arts Box office or online on the Department of Theater and Dance's website.
Coming up in sports, we'll show you what Fresno State athletes eat in a day and how they keep a healthy diet.
Plus, we see how the Fresno State baseball team did on Monday. Stay tuned for your focus on sports with Rolling Forward.
I got the bulldog spirit up in my head.
Up in my head.
Up in my head.
I got that bulldog spirit up in my head. Up in my head to say. I got that bulldog spirit deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. I got that bulldog spirit deep in my heart. Deep in my heart to stay. I got that bulldog spirit down in my toes. Down in my toes. Down in my toes. I got that bulldog spirit down in my toes. Hey. Down in my toes to stay. I got that bulldog spirit up in my head, deep in my heart, down in my toes. I got that bulldog spirit all over me to stay. I got that bulldog spirit
deep in my heart.
Deep in my heart, deep in my heart.
I'm rolling forward with your focus on sports. The Fresno State water polo team is coming off a loss to LMU at home, but took on San Diego State Aztecs this Saturday. Haley Andres scored 3 goals for the Water Dogs, but the rest of the team was pretty strong. All that scoring for the Dogs resulted in a 15-9 victory. Fresno State improves to a 10-7 overall and will play their final game at home next Saturday against Azusa Pacifica. The Fresno State football team is getting ready for their spring game this Saturday. The team will play at Valley Children's Stadium this Saturday with new head coach Matt Entz and some new faces. There is a lot of excitement building around this spring game. Senior DB Jaden Davis says that toughness is key for the team.
What's our biggest goals? And really, as Coach Entz always say, toughness wins, and definitely just being tough. And I feel like everybody got that memo now, just being a tough guy and playing bulldog football, and that's how it's going to be.
Again, the Dogs take the field on Saturday, and the best part is it's free. The Diamond Dogs are licking their paws after a tough game against Cal Poly this past Monday. The Dogs started off strong with a double by number 15 Murph Gray. However, the Mustangs swung hard with 2 home runs in the third. The Dogs did score in the fourth, but the Mustangs steamrolled in the fifth with 8 runs. In the sixth, the Dogs scored 2 home runs, one from Cam Snyder, and that's his first home run of the season. In the end, the score hurt 13-5. The Diamond Dogs take on Nevada this Friday and over the weekend. The Fresno State softball team took 2 out of 3 against rival San Jose State over the weekend at home. The Dogs are currently playing South against San Diego State in a doubleheader. Game 1 is in the books as the Aztecs take the win to win 2-1. The game is going on right now with the Dogs leading against the Aztecs 4-3 in the top of the 7th. The Dogs are back home this weekend as they welcome Nevada at Margie Wright Diamond. The Fresno State women's soccer team is in their spring season preparing for spring-fall. The Dogs go up against Santa Clara on the road this Saturday, but you can watch the 2025 Dogs home next week as they welcome Stanislaus State. Kickoff will be at 7 p.m. Proper nutrition always plays an important role in every athlete's performance. Here's a closer look inside Fresno State's Nutrition Lounge. Athletes have a lot to consider when trying to perform their best, and nutrition plays a big role. Many people just think about fruits and vegetables, but quarterback E.J. Warner has a different outlook.
You have a balance. It doesn't need to be all veggies, all fruits, different things like that. But you got to make sure that you're still getting the right foods, getting the right amount of calories, different things like that, just to make sure your body's fueled at the end of the day.
Fresno State is committed to making sure student athletes always have what they need to fuel their bodies throughout the day.
I'm here inside of the Fresno State Nutrition Lounge, and this is where student athletes come to get all their nutrients, and this is how they get energized for practice.
Student athletes have all the things they need at their disposal to fuel their body before participating in their sport.
But all of the big things that athletes are doing in practice, on the field, in the weight room, all of those are the stimulus, but then nutrition is what's going to actually get the 100% out of that stimulus.
Kelly Cernica is the director of sports nutrition at Fresno State. She is committed to making sure student athletes get the best performance from their nutrition. Panafatu Kamuta is the offensive lineman for the football team. He's benefited from Cernica's nutrition guidance and knowledge. He says he can see a difference in the weight room.
So when Kelly talks about it, she tells me to eat a carb with a protein before I get into a lift. And I think implementing that before I even start a lift is kind of a new thing I've started to do. And so having that energy to burn right before a lift instead of just burning off of no fuel.
And Braden Walton, Fresno State offensive lineman, says with the right nutrition, he can maximize his performance and stability out on the field.
The right nutrition helps you with performance. It makes your body feel better, it helps you recover faster, and it gives you enough energy out at practice or workouts.
With the correct nutrition, student athletes can have a better performance in the long run. You can see the outcome of great nutrition practices this Saturday at the Spring Preview and beyond. That's your Focus on Sports. Alexis, back to you.
Thank you, Roland. I might need to try out some of their diets that they have going on, but we're sticking with the diets. An American staple is being celebrated today. Today is Peanut Butter and Jelly Day. The lunch staple is sure to bring back memories of school lunches, and it is still a yummy midday snack. PB&J sandwiches were first created by Julie Davis Chandler in 1901. Since then, the power combo of peanut butter and jelly has been made into different variations. Some of them we do know, like Uncrustables and even Goober Spread, combining them into one jar. What do we have here now?
Alexis, you see it. It's peanut butter jelly time. Now look, we gotta take a look. We gotta take a look. Oh my gosh, am I seeing that
There's
correctly,
a
Alexis?
lot of jelly.
That's extra crunchy. Oh my God, they got it right. They got it right.
It is one of my favorites. I love extra crunchy.
Okay, you know, peanut butter jelly day. How about yourself with peanut butter jelly if you like? Thank you for joining us.
We'll see you next week.